Awesome. Hopefully you can hear me and you can see me. Good evening, good evening. All right, we're here, we're here. It's Tuesday Night Live, Tuesday Night Live. So tap in, everybody. Welcome to the show this evening. I'm getting everything straight here. I'm multitasking my way through. All right, so welcome to Tuesday Night Live here at Right Recipe for Travel. So glad to see all of you. Do me a favor. Let me know you're here. Let me know that you are here. Tap in, put in your name, where you're from, where you're watching from, and please do give me a like, give me a like, give me a like. As we get this party started here for our cruise news. I've got 4 cruise news stories I'm going to share with you this evening. And also, I have a cruise debate that we're just going to get settled, right? We're going to get settled. I have this age-old debate of what's a waste of money, what's a good use of money on the cruise, because we all know once you pay for the cruise, that's not it. That's not it. There's still a lot more that you possibly could pay for or might have to pay for. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And I would love it if you would like this video. Let me know where you're from. And I'm going to have you be interactive with me tonight because I got some questions for our Right Recipe for Travel family out there. And welcome to everyone who has decided to take some time out on Tuesday evening and spend some time with me. All right, let me see. Okay, I see you. I'm going to start off first with some cruise news stories. There's 4 that I'm going to share, and I'm going to jump to the juiciest one first. And no, it's not a fight on Carnival. I'm so through talking about the fights on Carnival. It's just, I mean, it is news, and I do the cruise news. So when it happens, I need to tell you about it. And I talked last week about the fight at the buffet over chicken nuggets. I'm just so through with fights on Carnival Cruise Line. So it's not that. Let me tell you what it is. The brand new Star of the Seas. We all know, right, in the cruising community, this is the newest, greatest ship from Royal Caribbean. And it is debuting now, like going around. Even today is August 26, 2025. And even today, it is still taking these new cruises. It's not even official yet. The Star of the Seas, the world's largest cruise ship. I have news already about the Star of the Seas. And no, the news is not about how beautiful it is and how wonderful the food is. The news is about another glass panel that has shattered right there aboard the Star of the Seas. Let me read this to you. This was taken today. This news came up, like I said, today is August 26th. Today, this came out. A glass panel on deck 15 of Royal Caribbean's brand new Star of the Seas suddenly shattered on the morning of August 26th. So, today, this morning, August 26th, people are still, smelling the brand new ship smell. And already, I think this is the 3rd ship, the 3rd glass panel that's broken aboard one of these Royal Caribbean ships. And I do see you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Let me see. I see you. Hello. Let me continue to read. Crew members took appropriate actions to block the area and there were no injuries reported. So that's the good news. The panel did break on deck 15. Wow. And it was spotted first by sunbathers. It was said that sunbathers were out there on the deck and they heard this loud popping sound. It sounded, they said, kind of like the sound of a tire popping. But no, it wasn't a tire, it was the glass panel. The brand new Star of the Seas hasn't yet sailed on her official maiden voyage, but there has already been some unwanted excitement on board. And yeah, that's not the kind of excitement that Royal Caribbean is hoping to drum up with this brand new ship. This is the 2nd Icon class ship, it says. At approximately 10:30 a.m. on today, August 26th, a glass panel on deck 15 suddenly shattered, startling guests who were relaxing and tanning nearby. Let's see, it says this is one that runs outside along the deck and it's just there really for safety barrier, but it already broke. So a person on TikTok recorded the whole thing. His name, the handle there on TikTok is Asphalt Mafia. So if you want to go see that whole video after this live, go check out Asphalt Mafia over there on TikTok. He shows you the shattered panel, and it's still all in one place. And he shows you the guy sweeping it up, and they have it, you know, lopped off over there so that no one gets hurt. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I don't know. Hello, Tay Tay, I see you there. Hello, Elaine. Hello, Tiffany, I see you. Hello, Nisha. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please do give me that like, and let me know. Have you heard about this? Did you know that this already took place aboard that beautiful brand new ship already? That is that's crazy. I would love to know your thoughts about this. It says the ship had approximately 5,610 people on board when this happened. I know I'm looking forward to getting on a Royal Caribbean ship. I've never sailed Royal. I've sailed Carnival, Princess, Norwegian, and MSC. I'm definitely looking forward to getting on Royal. And yeah, the excitement of these mega ships, it is exciting. I would love to see what that's all about. Does this give you pause? Does it make you concerned that there's something going on with these glass panels? I don't know. I don't know. We will see. So that's our first cruise news story. I have some more. Let's talk about, we're going to stick here with Royal Caribbean. No, well, it's a Royal Caribbean brand. So the Celebrity, Celebrity, which is part of that Royal Caribbean brand, they have hired their godmother, excuse me, for the ship. They have named their godmother for their newest Celebrity XL ship. And it's a world famous female chef. And it's making headlines. It's making news because this is the first time a female chef has been asked to be the godmother of the ship. Now, I'm probably not going to say this name correctly. I apologize. I don't know how it's pronounced. Janina, Janaina Torres. She becomes the first Brazilian chef to be a ship's godmother. I think that's exciting. Let me read this. The Celebrity Cruises has shared that it has named Janaina Torres, recognized as the best female chef in the world in 2024 by World's 50 Best as godmother for the Celebrity XL. She is the co-owner of the award-winning Sao Paulo restaurant, A Casa de Porco, and she becomes the first Brazilian chef to be appointed as a godmother for a major cruise line. What do you think about that? Have you ever done a celebrity cruise? If you have, I'd love to know your thoughts on Celebrity. Once again, I haven't traveled on Celebrity yet. Looking forward to doing so, but this is exciting. I picture Celebrity as a little more upscale. It's like a Royal Caribbean up, you know? It's gonna be a little bit more laid back vibe, a little less loud music and flashy, a little more refined. That's what I kind of think of when I think of a celebrity cruise, which is still all good to me because any day on a cruise is better than a day having to work. I would love to know your thoughts about this. Anyone ever been to that restaurant? Been to Brazil? I would love to know. Tell me about it down in the comments below. Now this will take place in November of later this year. Let me see. I think it's November 10th or 16th. I missed it. The writing is small. Yeah, this cruise will be going out of Fort Lauderdale, doing 7 to 11 night journeys. And this will take place, the official naming and ceremony will take place on 16 November. So just a few months from now. So congratulations, chef. I think that is exciting. You know, I'm missing some of the comments here. I have this on because it's kind of hard to multitask, to look at you guys, to pay attention, to read, and to check my comments, because sometimes there are dingleberries, that's the word I use, who come in just to spam or say dumb things, and you have to be on your game to block them and get them out of here. So I have my settings kind of high so that if there's certain words that come out, it doesn't show up, because we're not here to play those kind of games. But if you are leaving me a comment and I don't say anything, I'm not ignoring you. And after the live is over, if I've missed anything that you said, I'll get back to you. That's a promise. All right, here's another one. And this is back to Royal now. This is back to Royal Caribbean. This is Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas. So that is the class of ship that is another world's largest, but it's there in Florida doing just the weekend cruises, which I think is a great idea. It's supposed to be the best weekend, your biggest, best weekend, Utopia of the Seas. Well, they've had an issue aboard their ship, and if any of you have sailed on Utopia, drop that down in the comments. Or if you have a sailing coming up that was affected, I'm about to read to you what. I'd like to know. I'd like you to tell us about it. It says here, Royal Caribbean offers free cruises to guests after a huge error. So the error that happened was so bad that they had to offer free cruises. So you know, they're in the game for money. They're not trying to offer you a free cruise. So let me tell you what happened. It says cruise passengers traveling on Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas have been offered a free or a partial refund of their cruise after a booking error. A number of passengers which departed from Florida on August 25th, so this was just yesterday as the day of this recording, they were emailed and told that they would receive significant refunds if they would be willing to switch rooms. So let me just stop you right here. As a travel advisor, I know what this is already. Cruises are oversold. Airline seats are oversold. Train seats are oversold. What else? Rent-a-cars are oversold. The way that the market is, you sell a little bit more because you know that people always don't show up. Something always happens and people won't go. Somebody gets sick, somebody passes away. So they always oversell. So when those trickle in, the ship or the airline or whatever is still full. So they oversold this cruise. This is what happened. They oversold balcony cabins. And another way that this can happen is you book a guarantee. You know, booking a guarantee is one way to get a lower rate on any cruise line. You know, booking a guarantee means they pick the room for you. You don't have a big say, but what you are guaranteed is a room, okay? So people booked a guarantee and people booked, let's see, balconies, and they all showed up. And so it came down to time to leave, and they're like, oh my gosh, we don't have enough rooms to fit everybody. So let me read what it says. It's been widely reported that Royal Caribbean had overbooked rooms with balconies, forcing the cruise to put out a desperate plea for guests with balconies to downgrade their room. Would you do it? Would you do it? I'd love to know. I know my thoughts on this, but if I was on the world's biggest weekend and I had booked a lovely balcony cabin and then I get the email, would you please downgrade your room and we'll give you a free cruise or 50% off your next cruise, I know what I would say. What would you say? Yeah. According to this person, passengers who booked a balcony were offered half off what they paid for the cruise as a refund, or in exchange for switching to an ocean view room, while those willing to switch to an interior room are being offered, let me spit it out, a full refund. So if you went down to an ocean view, you got half your money back. If you go down to an interior, free. So you get to travel on this ship twice if you wanted to, just not in a balcony. Would you be willing to switch? Yeah, that is interesting. This is nothing new or nothing like jaw-dropping. It happens all the time. It's the way the industry works just to make sure that these ships are full. But as the person that this would happen to, if it was you, if it was me, would you switch and take that offer? It is very tempting, very tempting. Some people just are not, no matter what, they're not going to travel in a interior. I get it, I get it. Some people just would not go into an ocean view. They want a balcony, a suite or more. But if you were flexible, you could have got it twice. Yeah, very interesting there. I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know what you would do in the comments below. I have one more cruise news story that I want to share with you before we get into this big debate. But while I have you here, I'm thanking you once again for joining me on Tuesday Night Live Cruising. I would love it if you would be a part of our Facebook group. Just check on Facebook for Right Recipe for Travel. Check us out, of course, over on TikTok. We have a very lively TikTok. Check us out over there, also under Right Recipe for Travel. We would love it if you'd want to be a part of our Patreon or if you'd like to be a member. Just check us out. All right, let's keep going to this last story. This one is, oh, I dropped it. Where'd it go? Via V residencies. I've reported about Via V and I've talked about them even on the last live. They were the cruise line who decided that they were going to have people buy time on this cruise and just travel the world, keep traveling the world. And the Via V Odyssey is the ship that they are on that people have bought, you know, homes. You can live on this ship, and the first sailing was for 3 years, circumnavigating the world. And it was a lot of coverage about this because it didn't happen. It was delayed and delayed and delayed, and the ship was, you know, checked and it kept failing inspection, and all kind of things happened. I think it was delayed 3 months past the time, if not longer, that it was supposed to go. Finally, it is sailing around the world. Well, it seems to be working very well because they are now offering lifetime cruising. Lifetime cruising. I lost the story here. Give me a second. I still remember it, but I want to kind of read what it says. Some people called it a scheme. I don't know if I would call this a scheme or not, but they're going to offer you the opportunity to spend a lifetime on the cruise for a certain amount of money based on your age. I mean, come on, if it's a lifetime, right? So the older you are, the better your rates. The best rates go to people who are 90 and above. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding. And I mean, it makes sense, right? The life expectancy of a 90-year-old is probably a little bit less than the life expectancy of a 50-year-old. And people 50 to 60 have the highest rates. All right. It says golden passport. Makes you think of Willy Wonka, right? All right. They call it a scheme. I don't think it's a scheme. I think it's a clever marketing. And for anybody who was really looking into this, I think it's a great idea. Would you do it? You know, retire on a cruise ship. So many people I watch on YouTube show me that it's cheaper to retire on a cruise ship than it is to retire like at your own home and no maintenance or a facility. I don't even know what it's called. Cheaper, you know. Would you do it? Your bed's made for you, your food's cooked for you, you've got entertainment. It's tempting. It's tempting. Let me tell you what Via V is doing. Via V Residencies, which launched its first cruise aboard the Odyssey in October, promising passengers an around the world trip. And it stops, listen to this, this is exciting to me. It stops at 425 ports. Wow. 147 countries. Wow, again. And it takes 3.5 years. I mean, that when you say I'm going to see the world, you really mean it. Now, and they have an opportunity to own or to rent this lease for life. Let me see. I want to get down to the money. Okay, so how much depends on your age? Those aged 90 or above will pay $99,999. It's a good thing that they're not paying $100,000. However, the most expensive tier is priced at $399,000, so $999. And that's for those aged 55 through 60. So I would be in that age group. I'd have to shell out almost $400,000 to do this. But let me tell you what it includes. The price includes dining, housekeeping, laundry, annual medical checkups. Now that might be worth the price right there. Annual medical checkups. And alcoholic drinks with meals, as well as all fees such as port taxes and service charges. So it's all included. Even the alcoholic beverages, which we're going to talk about later today. $399,000 down to $99,000. What do you think? Good deal? Right. Residents will also have the opportunity to invite family and friends on board as long as they pay a $129 per day fee. So you can, maybe you're back in America or wherever you're from, or you have family and you stop there and you're like, hey guys, you want to come on for a day or two? $129, they could come on and stay with you. Via V adds that this passport will be transferable across its fleet. However, its fleet is currently limited to just the Odyssey. So it's just that one ship so far. Each of these voyages is scheduled to last between 3 and 3.5 years. And then they can go ahead and stay on, longer if they want. Wow. What do you think? I'm looking just at some of the responses here. People in certain ages, they're saying this is a great deal. Others are like, no, not so much. But a lot of people in California are responding, this is a great deal. And I mean, it's the cost of living. That's why I'm smiling. I don't know. What do you think? I'm very interesting. Very interesting. Obviously, it's working for them. That's why they're doing it. And I don't know. If I was able to retire right now, like I didn't have to go to work, it would really be tempting. Except, it's only that one ship, but it would still be tempting because we're cruisers and we enjoy cruising very much. Chime in down below. Let me know your thoughts. And if you're replying, I'm sorry. I can't seem to see much. Yeah, I can't seem to see all of I don't know why. Let me get down here. But if you are giving me some responses and I'm not answering you, please forgive me. I'm going to make sure to get to you. I just don't see them. That's all of the cruise news that I was going to talk to you about today. The next thing that I want to discuss is the topic on the cover. It says these 5 cruise must-haves. This has been a debate. Like I say, not only am I a travel advisor, I'm a cruiser. So on both ends, when I cruise and when I go with the people I cruise with, as well as when I book people, these are the things that are so hotly debated. And I want to know what you think. What am I talking about? All right. We're going to settle this debate tonight. We're breaking down 5 of the most popular cruise add-ons. And these are the ones that people swear by. But I want to know, are they actually a ripoff? All right, let me get to the first one. Maybe you can guess. Before I tell you, anybody know what it is? Drop it down in the comment below if you think you know the first one that I'm going to jump on. That these people love it. They always ask for it, but really it's debatable whether it's even worth it. More of a ripoff than anything else. Yeah. Some of you have guessed. Some of you have. The beverage package. That's the first one. Let me tell you about it. The break-even point for the beverage package. Now, it's a little different on each cruise line, but let's just say it's usually between 6 to 8 alcoholic drinks per day. Every day. Every day. And let's be honest, even if you say I could drink that with no problem, there are days when you're possibly in port or when you first get on, when you leave, that you're not going to get to that. I don't know. Maybe. Who's really doing that? Isn't it better just to pay as you go? And I've given video upon video of how to actually get free drinks. Free on the cruise, because there's ways to get free drinks. So this beverage package is somewhere between $15 to $25 per person per day. And you know the rule. Everyone in the cabin must get it. So a lot of times I can book passengers on cruises and then their drink package costs more than the cruise I've booked for them. $850 drink package, $600 cruise cabin. And they're happy about it. They're happy with it. And I guess if you really do believe that you're going to drink that much, you're okay with it. But I don't know. I want to know what you think. I'm going to see if I can do this. I want to try to put up this poll here and see. Drink package, yay or nay? What do you think? Do you get the drink package? How much is too much? How much is too much? Do you look at the price of it and go, oh, that's a good deal? Or do you think, crap, sorry, man. So if you're able to, I've put a poll here in the chat. Are you a drink package person? Do you decide, I'm getting the drink package even before you decide what cruise you're going on? Because it's worth it. It is of a value to you. Or are you on the fence with it? Is it occasionally, only sometimes, depends on the budget? Or is it never? You never get the drink package because first of all, you don't drink, or you don't drink enough that it would work for you. And you know, the drink package includes more than just alcoholic beverages. It includes specialty coffees, specialty teas, hot chocolates. It includes sodas, things of that nature. Drink package, yay or nay? I'm loving it. Yeah. I have never gotten the drink package. But I'm not that much of a drinker. You know, one drink a day is kind of what I say, but sometimes I don't even do that. Like one drink at dinner, maybe. Probably never two a day, something like that. So for me, it's not worth it, even with, and I am a coffee drinker, so it's not worth it even for the coffee, you know, or the sodas, because once again, you can bring your favorite brand of soda on board the cruise ship for most cruise lines, just like you can bring your bottle of wine on board. And I'm looking, I have people responding. I got you. I'm just wondering. But this is a hotly debated topic. There have been, you know, I'm sure there's instances of on the phone booking the cruise and they're fighting back and forth. We're not going to do that. Yes, we are. Well, just tell her, hold on, wait, we'll call you back with that. Because of course you don't have to book it right then and there, you know, but the cruise lines do give you the offer of making sure you book it before you get on the ship, because they give you a lower rate. They want to get as much money from you paid up before you get on board, so you can just feel free to just spend to your heart's content, because you've already spent everything. You can feel relaxed, everything's paid for. So it's in their interest to get you to buy everything that you want to buy before you even step on. If you want a, you know, shore excursion, if you want a spa treatment, get it before you're on the ship, and then it's like, you know, you don't have to spend any money. Yeah. All right, I have gotten that poll. I'm going to see, what are you saying? Yeah, most of my people are saying no, they don't get the drink package. I'm going to keep the poll up there though, and just let me know. I think it's quite interesting. Let me see. There we go. And you still have time to answer that poll before I let that one go. I'm going to end that one because I have some other ones I want to ask you about. All right. That's number one. First debate. Some people say total waste of money. I can book a whole other cruise for the amount that you're going to pay for your drink package, and I'd rather just do that. Others say, are you crazy? Do you know how much I would spend for these kind of drinks if I did it individually? This will save me at least $100 to $200 to $300. So, yeah. All right. Here's the next one. That was debate number one. Here's debate number two, everyone. Specialty dining. What do you think? You've already paid for amazing food in the main dining room, and some of you will probably smile, but the food's pretty good, right? And other included venues, because it's not just the main dining room, there's other included venues for food on that ship. You are getting your food on that ship, right? But we pay for specialty dining. Are you really missing out if you don't spend an extra $50 per person for the steakhouse? What do you think? And I mean, there's all kind. I just said steakhouse. I'm looking at my notes. But there's all kind of specialty dining, hibachi and sushi. There's dining like you're on a railroad train car. There's dining with shows. There's, you know, lobster and steak, and there's all kinds of specialty dining. Is it worth it? What do you think? I mean, food's included. That's one of the things that we like when we book our cruise. But a lot of people are like, no, I want to have like a special meal, something extra. You know, maybe it's in a smaller venue. You don't want to be in the huge main dining room with, you know, 5,000 other people. It's a smaller, intimate setting, or you're celebrating something special and you would like to try the specialty dining. What do you say? Specialty dining? I'm going to put up this poll as well. I want to know, is it worth it? Have you done specialty dining? I'm just going to ask you yes or no. Give me a second here. Specialty. I got to spell it right. Right? How much would you pay? $25 for a meal, $50 for a meal. Does it depend on what the meal is? Like, is a good steak dinner at the nice steakhouse there on board, is that good? Marcia says, I'm going on our first cruise in November. We've paid for the plus package on Grand Princess. We are not strong drinkers. Yeah, I understand. But decided to get the package and a balcony room since this is our first. And I totally get that. Totally get that. Absolutely. Princess is just a little bit different because they have the plus and the premier. They bundle it all together so that you don't have to think about some of the other things that I'm going to ask you. And it's just really convenient. It's just done for you. And who doesn't want to have that, extra, the door to go out and see the sea breeze on a balcony cabin? I totally get that. Totally get it. Yeah. But what do you think about the specialty dining? We have, let me think about it. I started cruising back in 2001, and I don't know. I don't really think we have done specialty, actually. Some of my cruise partners, they're in here tonight. Have we done specialty dining? Let me know. I don't even remember. But what do you think? And if you do the specialty dining, what's been your favorite? Which place on board, which cruise ship is the one that you would go to every time? You're like, nope, I'm setting my $50 aside because I really want to go there. The food is just that good, or the atmosphere is just that good, or the ambiance is just that good. Which one is it? What's the best meal that you've ever had on a cruise? Was it in the specialty dining room? Yeah. I'm interested to know. I still have the poll up, and I'm just asking, specialty dining, are you a yay or nay? Yeah. Interestingly enough, sometimes when you are in the casino, or maybe you win one of the shows, you get a voucher for specialty dining, and that's exciting and fun. I don't mind going for free, but I don't know. I just haven't paid extra for it. Yeah. Okay. I am looking to see specialty dining. What is my... No. Most of you are saying no. All right. I'm going to end that one there. We have some more to go because I want to know. Now, Marcia just talked about a little bit about her first cruise and what kind of room she has. Here's my next question. Is this a ripoff, a total waste of money, or is this something that's a must-have? And that's a balcony cabin. Balcony cabins. The cruise lines bet on us as consumers wanting to upgrade to that type. And that's why the most rooms on any cruise ship are balcony cabins. The most. Because that is what people gravitate to. You're on a cruise ship after all. You want to see what's going by, right? But is it worth the extra $400 to $800 in upgrades to be spent, for a balcony cabin? Because that is the price difference on some cruise lines. An interior, usually being the least expensive, up to a balcony, about $400 difference on average. And the question I have is, how much time do you spend in your room anyway? Yeah. Do you spend a lot of time in your room? I'd love to know. I'd love to know. Now, I went on one of the many cruises I've been on single, by myself, just myself. And even on that cruise, I didn't spend a whole bunch of time in my room. I just was, you're enjoying your cruise experience. You're sitting on the Lido deck, or you're in a bar, or you're at a show, or you're in the spa, or you're in the casino. You're doing the thing that you wouldn't be able to do at the house. And I can sleep in a bed at the house. So even though I was by myself, I didn't feel nervous about getting up and exploring the ship. And I wasn't in my room, very often. I went to bed there, and that was it. I did have a balcony though. But I did not spend extra for it. I worked a really good deal, and I did not spend extra. But the majority of our cruises, I do admit, have been in balcony cabins. What are your thoughts on this? What do you prefer? I'm going to put this poll up here. I would love to know. Or maybe you don't even cruise in balconies. Maybe you like suites or better. What do you say to that? Or do you stick with the least expensive kind? Because you can probably save anywhere between, like I say, $250 to $400 if you don't upgrade to the balcony. And every time you see in a brochure or online something, the price for the cruise fare, it is always the interior. Always. They show you the least expensive price. Unless it's some kind of special promotion and they tell you this is a balcony room. Otherwise, it's always the price for the least expensive. That's the starting rate. Do you upgrade to balconies? Would you travel in an interior? Yeah. Me personally, for a short cruise, a 5-day or less, an interior could be all right. But for a longer cruise, I really do want that view. I want that balcony experience. I do. So I'm going to be completely honest. I usually pay for the upgrade there. They might not get me for specialty dining, and they certainly will not get me for the drink package, but I'm probably going to give them my money for the balcony. That's just me. I would love to know what you say. I've put a poll here, and I'd love to know your thoughts. And, let me know. Type it out. What kind of room do you usually get when you go on your cruise adventures? Yeah. All right. We're trying to solve this debate, though. Waste of money or total must-have? All right. We only have two more, because I said 5. So this is going pretty fast, pretty good. And I still have the poll up here about balcony or not. But let me move on to this one. Cruise line shore excursions. And I purposely said cruise line because, of course, we know we can do shore excursions, from others all outside of the cruise lines. But I'm talking specifically cruise line excursions. You're getting ready to go to some amazing ports, maybe some places that you've never been to before. And of course, when you get off, you want to do something. You want to snorkel or zip line or wine taste or go to the beach. And they offer that on the ship. There's a list of things that you can do when you get off. Do you purchase it from the cruise line? Let me see what you said about the balcony. Yeah, most people are saying that they do. They do. They want the balcony. I understand. Let's see. Let me look here. Yeah, they want the balcony. I get it. But what about the shore excursions? First of all, let me ask, do you get off and do shore excursions on your cruise? Some people, they don't even get off the ship. And I have done that. I've been to San Juan, Puerto Rico so many times, and then I did a cruise that was very close in timing, and it had been less than 2 weeks that I had been to San Juan twice, so I decided to stay on the cruise ship. And, that's a whole fun vibe in itself, because the ship, there's so few people and the venues are open. That's a whole other talk that we can have. But when you do decide to get off, what do you do? What do you do? We're about to be on a cruise in a week or so, and so many people in the chat group, because I always join a Facebook group for the cruise that I'm going to go on. So many people now are asking, well, what are you going to do in this on this spot? And what are you doing over here in this island? Because there's so much to do. A lot of islands have favorite bars, Mr. Sancho's, and they have places, Senor Frogs, that everybody kind of just that's my hangout for the day. But when you are deciding to do shore excursions, do you take the cruise lines offered ones? Because the cruise lines do a really good job of stressing the point that if you don't take their shore excursions and you go off and take one of the shore excursions from the vendors outside of the cruise ship, oh, well, we don't know. There's no guarantee, and we won't wait for you. They stress that point. Now, if you're on our shore excursion from the ship, if anything happens, we're going to wait for you. We won't leave you. But, with the others, we'll leave you. And they make sure to stress that. you better believe that all of these islands and all of these places that we visit, these vendors who are waiting for us, know that. They would have a reputation that would be terrible if it was always they were late and we didn't get back to the ship. No one would ever take their excursions. So they work that into their system and pride themselves on making sure that they get us back in time because they want the next group of people to take their cruises or their shore excursion as well. But the cruise lines do a really good job of making sure that we hear that. You better take it from us. Don't take it from them. I want to know, do you do shore excursions? I'm putting up this poll and I'm just asking you yes or no. Do you take their, let me do this, shore excursions. It's hard to type on this phone. Yeah. I'm getting a new computer, so I'm going to switch over from phone lives to back the other way. But right now, do you do their shore excursions? I'd love to know. If you do shore excursions at all, who do you take, the cruise line or independent? Now, of course, the biggest perk or the biggest reason why you would take an independent operator is the price. They are less expensive. That's the way that they compete with the cruise line, and the cruise line, you know, kind of using scare tactics, I'm just going to say it, to let us know that, you know, these are reputable people and we know it, we can vouch for them, and if anything happens, we won't leave you to, oh, well, you know. But the people that are doing these excursions for the cruise line, they're the same people. They just hired them. Anyway, that's my take on it. That's my take on it. We have done cruise line excursions and we have done independent, you know. But the biggest perk with an independent is that it's usually always cheaper. And not cheaper by a little bit, cheaper by a lot. $30, $40, $50, sometimes half the price. And like I said, that's the way that these independent operators, that's how they can compete. So I would love to know if you take, let me see, looking at some of these comments. And I have the poll up here. I'm looking to see what you say. Shore excursions. What has been your best shore excursion ever? What was the one that you still remember, that you still think about, that you would tell anybody, vouch for them, and go to that one again? What's been your best shore excursion? Sitting here asking you that question, I'm thinking about it now, and gosh, I would really have to ponder that. I've had some really, really good shore excursions. I don't do anything like really adventurous. I've never zip lined, or I've never like, what's it called? Not hang gliding. What is it called when they take you up? Parasailing. I've never done anything like that. Nothing, you know, super adventurous, riding all-terrain vehicles or anything. It's usually something to just explore the culture, a tour of that nature, and a beach day. But some of those shore excursions have been really good, really good. I'd love to know if you would like to share what has been your most favorite shore excursion. All right, let me look at this poll here and see. Okay, half and half, 50-50. And you know, if I think about it, I'll probably say the same. Yeah, half of our tours have probably been with either way, because at first, especially when you first start cruising, they talk to you about it and tell you so much, and it's kind of put into you that you need to book with the ship. So especially our first 2, 3, or 4, we definitely took the ship's excursions, and then we kept cruising and thought, it's the same excursion for $50 less. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to end this poll. I have one more, because these are the 5, right? Last one. Who knows what this one is? This one's a booger bear too. It didn't used to even be an option, a thought, but times are a-changing, and this is what we're talking about now. Number 5 is Wi-Fi packages. And once again, they're not inexpensive. They're not inexpensive. They're expensive. And they get people like me or people who maybe have to work on board or who are vloggers or who have a business that you're kind of still doing. You know, before when I first started cruising, I would unplug completely. And that was wonderful. And like I said, times are a little different. And now we're wanting or even needing the Wi-Fi. And they know that. So the Wi-Fi is notoriously slow and expensive. Don't we think about the ultimate luxury on a cruise is just unplugging and enjoying the moment with the people that you're with? I know some of us can't do that, but I want to know, do you purchase that Wi-Fi package? And you know, the way it's set up, it's one device or two devices, or it's expensive. Eesh. Okay, I'm putting this poll up right now. Let me see. Last one, and then we'll talk about something else, because I do have something else to share with you. I'm just putting this Wi-Fi.